All right, man. Check it out. Just want to say, man, RIP, rest in peace to Tatiana Jefferson, based out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's crazy because I was looking at the actual footage, which I have it on my page as well. If you want to look at it, Western World One community, check it out. The video is up with her picture and everything on it. That you see on the screen is actually what it is. And I just wanted to share my thoughts with the situation. Now, I only could go off of from what I seen from the body cam, which I'm sure that we all can go off of that. So, man, I was just doing a lot of research on, the police department, Texas. I heard this was like the 9th shooting in Fort Worth, Texas, or whatnot. However, when you look at the footage, you can see the officer off the body cam performing with what they call, I wrote this down, a low light tactic, right? It was like a low light tactical training is what they were doing, right? So that means that, you have your pistol light, which what is called to us a scout light or a flashlight. Now, keep in mind, I am not a lawyer. I am not a cop. All this stuff is what I'm saying off of me sharing my thoughts. This is just for entertainment purposes and also educational purposes. I'm just going off of for what I've seen off this heavily edited recording off this body cam, which is, I'll give that up later. All right, now going off this heavily recorded body cam, it shows that this is what you call a low light tactical demonstration, so to speak. But this was like in real life. So as the officer was approaching to the door, looking in to see what was going on, then he started making his way to I believe another side of a door or whatever, and started walking through towards the back side or wherever the window was sitting, right? So you hear the officer, they're walking through, and as they was walking through, you could see the pistol light guiding them. Now, off of a pistol light, you have, I believe it was like 4 phases on a light, which I didn't even notice. You have the, what is that? The hot spot, which is the middle light, the bright light inside of the flashlight. That's the bright light. That's where when you hold it up, you can see right. That's the middle. That's the, Then you have a corona, which is like the tip outside of the illuminated spot, the brightest spot. Just on the outside of it, you see it like it gets like a little dimmer. It's like a yellowish, orangish light outside of it. And you also have what they call a spill. That's like another step outside of the orange. And anything else like that's big or bright is what they call a throw. Now, this is just from what I'm doing off of YouTube and just off of research. Now, with those different types of stages of the light that you should have to use. Now, they say this officer has been on the force for 18 months now. Now, that means that some of this stuff can be fresh training in his head still. If they showing that that he has to, not only does he have the hours, the credit hours to do the low light tactical demonstration, but he also has to train and do this repetitiously in his head, so that way you would know what type of situation that you assessing yourself in. Because from the edited camera, when the officer said, "Put your hands up, show me your hands," pow, the shot went straight off. Then it showed what? The gun of Atatiana Jefferson, in two different, in two different showings, in two different viewings, right? See, this is where you have to, well, you cannot even show, okay, what is justifiable lethal force? It don't even show. Like, you can hardly even see Atatiana in the window. You don't know if she was holding the gun. We, at this situation, a point in time, all we know is the officer was doing his job. He was walking through the actual course. He saw what appears to be a threat, and he shot. Pow. Now, this is where the fear and the, at what point does this fear and adrenaline kicks in? Does it kicks in at the moment of seeing the you know, the silhouette or a shadow or a body figure or whatever object in that window? Did the adrenaline and the fear kick in at that point? Then he shot. Pow. All right. Now, they said one shot was fired. So was that considered a confident shot? Because I know how to feel you shoot multiple times. From what they're, from what I'm, now all this stuff is alleged now. This is from what I'm gathering when I'm researching. You know, you have to find out, was it reasonable for him, the officer, to make that call? And they say you have, when they say put your hands up, show me your hands, you got 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Was Atatiana even shown that she had enough time to even recognize the officer? Now, you have a light flashing in your eyes now. The way that the pistol light or the flashlight was shown, it would have been shown directly flashing inside of the window. Now, it could have blinded her. I don't know how tall she is. I don't know how tall the officer is. We don't know. All we know is the light is glaring in the person that got shot's eyes, in Atatiana's eyes. So at this point in time, we don't know what she's thinking. We don't know if she's looking at it like, okay, is this somebody trying to break into my house? Or, man, I left my doors open. I don't know what's going on. Let me peek and just see what it is. Which I'm sure that's what it is. But we can't. This is where we get into the argument at, man, you shot this lady in her house. You did this. You did that. Because of the body cam was heavily edited, you cannot determine if this was justifiable lethal force. And you can't determine whether or not, if the cop was doing his job at the time. Now, looking at it from a low light tactical demonstration or course, it shows that the officer was justifiable, because in obstacles and courses, they show you, it's like a target where it shows a gun and a hand. You're looking for the hand and you're looking for the gun. You're not even thinking about even going in there saying, hello, you know, police officer on, you know, on property, or hello, you know, anybody there, or come out with your hands up. If someone in the house, you better come out. So you got 2 cops, because one of the officers said, huh. So I don't know if he had an earpiece in his ear or it was another officer standing directly behind him, you know, showing him cover. See, we don't know these things, and that's why it's hard to really say, okay, what's really going on here? All we know is an African-American woman was shot and killed in her home. And they said that it doesn't matter if she had a gun because it's the castle law. Well, check this out. When the person called the police there, it gave them probable cause. So when the police going in there to assess a situation, they don't know who lives there. All they know is a threat is there. The probable cause was the phone call saying that, hey, man, a well-being, you know, someone over there, their door is open. Can you go check it out? It looks suspicious. That gave them probable cause to go on their property and to see what's going on, because there was a telephone call made